In this video, we're going to talk about how to complete the homework, assignments, the quizzes, and the tests. And in particular, how do you fill in your answers? How do you input your answers in MyMathLab? So you'll notice here we're at the course homepage in MyMathLab. Now this is for the fall 2014 semester. You may be watching this in a future semester, but we're at the course homepage. If you click on homework, it'll list the homework assignments you have to complete. Now if you want to see all the assignments, including the quizzes and the tests, click Show All. And you may have to press back here to get to the very beginning. But notice that in Module 1 you have homework for sections 2.1 and 2.2 and then a quiz. And then in the second module you also have 2 sections of homework and a quiz. That's also true in the third module. But in the fourth module there's just 1 section of homework, a quiz, and then an exam. So that exam will cover the first 4 modules worth of material. And there will also be an exam in Module 8 and Module 12 and so forth. Okay, but if we want to see some homework problems, so let's click on section 2.2. And you see all these different questions from that section, so just click on any one of the questions. I click on question number 1 here. And this window will pop up that will list the different questions at the top. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Now this section I think has a total of 34 questions. That's quite a few. Most sections don't have that many. I didn't assign that many problems. But if you want to click on the various problems, let's go to problem number 3, let's say. It says find the slope, if it exists, of the line containing the pair of points. And so if you have a line that goes through the point 2, 9 and 7, -7, what is the slope? Okay, so if you watch the videos that I've created or you use the online textbook, they will talk about how to find the slope of the line connecting 2 points. Now in this, the answer here, I figured this out ahead of time. It would be 16 over -5. Okay, 16 over -5. So how do we type in 16 over -5? Now first of all, it says select the correct choice below, and if necessary fill in the answer box to complete your choice. So notice one of the answers is slope is undefined. That would be if you have a vertical line, the slope is undefined. But the slope is defined. In fact, it's like I said, 16 over -5. So how do I type in that fraction? Well, over here on the left, you see this, it looks like a fraction. So click on there. We have 16 over -5. Now you could either put the -5 out there, you could put the minus out front, but you would go down to the bottom of the page here and click check your answer. Okay, now I don't want to do that yet here. I want to mention how do we fill in other types of answers. Like if you wanted to click in the square root of 7, well, you'd type this square root button and then you put the 7 there. If you wanted to type in like x squared, you'd put an x and then you'd use this superscript button over here, x squared, and then you click out of there if you want to do x squared plus 5x minus 4. That's how you do your answer. If you click more, there's other symbols. For example, the symbol for pi, or the symbol for infinity, or the symbol for the number e. We'll talk about that later. But on the left, you have this palette here gives you ways to enter in your answers. So I think I said our answer was minus 16 over 5. And if we click check our answer, it says fantastic. And notice the 3 up here, it made a little green check mark. That means that we got the question correct. Okay, now if you get the question incorrect, it'll put a little red X there. Now, why does it really matter? This is just homework assignments here. The homework assignments don't count as part of your final grade. So why would it matter whether you get it correct or not? Well, before you can move on to the next quiz or the next exam, you have to get at least 80%. I think that's the percentage I'm going to use, is 80%, to move on to get to the quizzes and the exam. So what happens if you get something wrong? So let's click on problem number 6 here. What happens if you type something in incorrectly or you get it wrong? It'll put an X, but you can redo the problem. Now it won't be the exact same problem. They'll change some of the numbers, but you can redo the problem and keep redoing it until you get the answer correct. Okay, so I would like for you to try to get 100% on the homework. But anyways, this problem says find an equation of the line with a given y-intercept and slope m. So the y-intercept is 14, the slope is m. So in the videos, maybe you've seen this before, the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. Well, the m is 3. and the B is 14. So we would go there and we would click check answer, and it would say correct. Now, if you didn't know how to do the problem, let's say you had no clue how to do this problem, you could click view example here, and it will give you a problem that's very similar. Notice that the numbers are not exactly the same as the original problem, and it'll kind of walk you through it. Okay, keep clicking continue to walk you through how to do a problem similar to that problem. Or if you want it to walk you through the very problem that you're working on, you could click help me solve this. But as soon as you click help me solve this, something will pop up here. It'll walk you through, so it'll say which of the following is the slope intercept form of a line. So we click y equals mx plus b, check your answer. It'll say nice work, and it'll keep walking you through. You'll type things in, but as soon as you click that help me solve, notice it puts a red X there, meaning that you got this question wrong. So that's okay though, because you can just redo the problem. Okay, if you redo the problem, then you can it'll change to a correct answer. Okay, so it says nice work, and notice now it changed to green. Okay, now there are also problems where you have graphs, like problem number 16, I think. Find the intercepts and then use them to graph the equation. Well, if you want to find the x-intercept, you would set y equal to 0. So if y is 0, x is 3. And if you want to find the y-intercept, you'd set x equal to 0. So if x is 0, y would be 6. So we can graph this line. Now anything of the form ax plus by equals c, that will be a straight line. So how do you graph something? Well, you can either click this button to enlarge the graph or click up here, the plus there. And we could graph this. Now, if you wanted to graph a circle, for example, you click on this button. That would give you the center of the circle, and you'd draw with the circle with a certain radius. If you wanted to do a parabola, you could pick points on the parabola and draw the parabola in. But what we want here is a line. Okay, and I said our y-intercept is going to be 6. And our x-intercept is 3, so I believe this will be the correct answer. We'll click Save, and we'll click Check Answer, and notice, well done. Okay, so we got it correct. So you need to get at least 80% of the problems correct before you can move on to the next quiz or exam. All right, now let's also go back to the homework here. I also want to do a problem from the next assignment. So, or actually the very first assignment, 2.1. If we go to question number 1, let's say, again, we'll have this window pop up. And sometimes a question will have multiple parts to it, and you can get partial credit by answering some of them correctly. So it says, in which quadrant is each of these points located? Now it gives you 2 points. -5, 1 and 0, 5. So actually this is the first question here. It says, in which quadrant is the point -5, 1 located? So notice the point -5, 1 would be down here. This is the third quadrant down here. Remember quadrant 1 here, quadrant 2, quadrant 3. So I put quadrant 3, and then let's go here and click check answer. So it says excellent. But notice now there also will appear the next question. So we're still on problem number 1, but it's the second part of problem number 1. In which quadrant is the point 0, 5 located? Well, 0, 5 is right along the y-axis. That's not in any of the quadrants, so you click none. Okay, check your answer, and you did it correctly. Okay, so that's how to enter in answers in My Math Lab. Okay, now a couple other things I want to mention here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so notice when you go into homework, it shows you the questions that you got correct and the questions that you got incorrect. Oh, one thing I should also mention, let's get back into here. When you're doing the quizzes and the exams, these buttons will not be there. Help me solve this, view example, and so forth. So in the quizzes and exams, you don't have an opportunity to redo a problem. You either get it correct or incorrect, and that's just, it'll stay that way as your answer. So so definitely one of the big reasons that the homework is important is it allows you to get some practice and practice entering in problems, seeing the way they want you to write the answers. If there's any kinks in the process, you can get those worked out during the homework so that you don't it doesn't affect your grade like it would for quizzes and exams. Okay, and also if this didn't make sense, let's go back to the course homepage. Notice down here it has a little browser check, so it says welcome to my math lab. You can check your browser, whether you're using, I'm using Firefox here, but if you're using Chrome or Internet Explorer, this checked, and notice I do have Adobe Flash Player. Same thing with the reader. Third-party cookie check, I don't even know what that means, but anyways, looks like my browser's okay. But also there's a little how-to on how to enter answers in my math lab. So it says start watching the tour. And this, the total length of all these videos is maybe like 10-11 minutes. So you can click on these, and these different videos are maybe a minute or two long, and it kind of explains how to enter in answers. So that might go into a little bit more detail maybe than what I have just done. But like I said, it's only 10 or 12 minutes. Okay, well, feel free to let me know if you have any questions at all. I'd be happy to help you out.